Hello, guys. Let's start a new episode of Pinocchio book reading series. I close my window so it's not that light in here. It's not very lighty. It's a little bit darker here now because outside is having a lot of construction, so it's a lot noisy. It's really noisy outside. So let's start. Chapter 21. Pinocchio acts as a watchdog. Pinocchio acts Pinocchio acts as watchdog. Pinocchio began to cry and scream, but his tears and groans were useless, for there was not a house to be seen, and not a living soul passed down the road. At last night came on. At last night came on. Partly from the pain of the trap that cut his legs, and a little from the fear at finding himself alone in the dark in the midst of the fields, the puppet was on the point of fainting. Just at that moment, he saw a firefly flitting over his head. He called to it and said, "Oh, little firefly, will you have pity on me and liberate me from this torture?" "Poor boy," said the firefly, stopping and looking at him with compassion. "But now, but how could your legs have been caught by those sharp irons?" "I came into the field to pick two bunches of these muscatel grapes, and but were the grapes yours?" "No." "Then who taught you to carry off other people's property?" "I was so hungry." "Hunger, my boy, is not a good reason for appropriating what does not belong to us." That is true," said Pinocchio, crying. "I will never do it again." At this moment, their conversation was interrupted by a slightly sound of approaching footsteps. It was the owner of the field coming on tiptoe to see if one of the polecats that are his chickens. The eight. It was the owner. It was the owner of the field coming. It was the owner of the field coming on tiptoe to see if the one. It was the owner of the field coming on tiptoe to see if the one of polecats that ate his chickens during the night had been caught in his trap. His, astoni- his astonishment was great when his astonishment was great when, having brought out his lantern, his astonishment was great when, having brought out his lantern from under his coat, he perceived that instead of a polecat, a boy had been taken. "Ah, little thief," said the angry peasant. "Then is it ah, little thief," said the angry peasant. "Then it is you who carries off my chickens?" "No, it's not. No, it is not. Indeed, it is not," cried Pinocchio, sobbing. "I only came into the field to take two bunches of grapes." He who steals grapes is quite capable of stealing. He who steals grapes is quite capable of stealing chickens. Leave it to me. I will give you a lesson that you will not forget in a hurry. Opening the trap, he seized the puppet. Opening the trap, he seized the puppet by the collar and carried him to his house as if he had been a young lamb. When he reached the yard in front of the house, he threw him roughly on the ground, and putting his foot on his neck, he said to him, "It is late, and I want to go to bed. We will settle we will settle our accounts tomorrow." In the meanwhile, as the dog who kept guard at night died today. In the meanwhile, as the dog who kept in the meanwhile, as the dog who kept guard. In the meanwhile, as the dog who kept guard at the night. In the meanwhile, as the no, as the dog. In the meanwhile, as the dog who kept guard. In the meanwhile, as the dog who kept guard at the night died today. In the meanwhile, as the dog who kept guard at night died today. Why is this so difficult? In the meanwhile, as the dog who kept guard at night died today. In the meanwhile, as the dog who kept guard at night should die today. In the meanwhile, as the dog who kept guard at night died today, in the meanwhile, as the dog who kept guard at night died today, you shall take his place at once. You shall be my watchdog. Hence the name of the chapter. And taking a great collar covered with brass knobs, and taking a great collar covered with brass knobs, he strapped it so tightly round his throat that he was not able to draw his head out of it. A heavy chain attached to the collar was fastened to the wall. If it should rain tonight, he said to him, you can go and lie down in the kennel. The straw, the straw that has served as a bed for my poor boy. The straw had, the straw, the straw, the straw that has served, porra. The straw that has served as a bed for my poor dog for the last 4 years is still there. If unfortunately robbers should come, remember to keep your ears pricked and to bark. After giving him his le- after giving him this last injunction, after giving him this last injunction, after giving him this last after giving him this last injunction, the man went into the house. I have to finish one word before going to the next. After giving him his After giving him this last injunction, the man went into the house, shut the door, and put up the chain. Poor Pinocchio remained Poor Pinocchio remained lying on the ground more dead than alive. Poor Pinocchio remained lying on the ground more dead than alive. Poor Pinocchio Poor Pinocchio remained Poor Pinocchio Poor Pinocchio remained lying on the ground more dead than alive from the effects of cold, hunger, and fear. From time to time, he put his hand angrily to the collar that tightened his throat and said, crying, it serves me right. It serves me right. It serves me right. It serves me. It serves me right. Serves me. It serves. It serves me. Serves me. It serves me. Serves me. It 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 serves me right. It serves me right. Porra, por que eu não sei fazer na voz de Pinóquio? Why can I read it in Pinocchio's voice? Pinocchio's voice. It serves me right, decidedly. It serves me right, decidedly. It serves me right. I was determined to be a vagabond and a good for nothing. I would listen to bad companions, and that's why I always meet with misfortune. I would listen to bad companions, and that is why I always meet with misfortunes. I would listen to bad companions, and that is why I would listen to bad companions, and that is why I always meet with misfortunes. If I had been a good little boy, as so many are, if I had remained at home with my poor papa, I should not now be in the midst of the fields and obliged to be the watchdog to a peasant's house. Oh, if I could be born again! But now it is too late, and I must have patience. Relieved by this little outburst, which came straight from his heart, he went to the dog kennel and fell asleep. Well, I really had to practice. I stuttered in a lot of sentences. I really had to practice this, and this just 2 pages took me almost 10 minutes to read. That is very, very slow. And that is why I need to continue this series. Until next time.